What are you, oh, good.
Welcome to Teal House Farm.
Why do you have an umbrella?
Because it's cold out.
How's that gonna keep you warm? Welcome back to Teal House Farm. Today we are refocused and re-energized into getting things done. Okay. So it is warmer today. It's not warmer, but it's warmer. It's almost 40 degrees.
Look, it's still snow.
Yeah, there's still some snow on the ground. It's about 40, I don't know, I think it's 45. And tomorrow it's going to be in the 50s. Woo! And so we are going to take these 2 beautiful days while we are stuck at home anyway, and we are going to get a ton of things knocked off our list to get ready for spring. Alright, so to take advantage of these warm days, there are 4 things that I want to accomplish. I need to fix the greenhouse. You see behind us, it got blown inside out. So we are going to wrap it back up for spring planting. Spring planting's not for another month, but because of Annie's surgery coming up, the amount of time we'll be in the hospital, we'll get it ready now. And then once we get home from surgery, we'll be all ready to plant. Number 2, we want to fix the compost pile. The dog has been sticking its nose through the cattle panels I have that surround the compost pile and pulling things out, and it's annoying me. So we are going to wrap that thing up like Fort Knox so that she can't fit her muzzle through any of the holes. I'm going to use a bunch of extra chicken wire. So no more stuff coming out of the compost pile.
Can I help you?
Number 3 is we're going to clean up all the trash around the farm because the dog has pulled so much stuff out of the compost pile the last couple weeks and strewn it everywhere. It's been so cold, it's all just frozen to the ground, and that's just kind of gross. So we are going to clean up. Yes, you can help. Yeah, when I do that. And the last thing, I have an overgrowth of a plant. I think it's called kudzo or kudzo. I don't really know how to say it, but it's growing out of this hedge back here, and it's getting dangerously close to my elderberries and blackberries, and I'm tired of it. And so now that it's winter and I can follow the vines, I'm going to find the source and I'm going to hack that thing down and hopefully dig some of it out of the ground so that next year it's not a problem for my berry plants and even my apple trees. It's getting kind of close to my apple trees.
Step 1, clean up the trash. Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Compost pile. Yuck.
Is that yucky? What is it? I don't think there's water. Yeah. Okay, so the compost pile, which Ivy is standing right in front of, is right here. We attempted to set up a hot compost system. It's worked moderately well. I found it hard to keep enough carbon on it, and it 100% has to do with time management. I don't want to say laziness because I do not feel like I'm a lazy person, but what happens is I dump my compost on here and then I realize I need to collect carbon like from the chicken coop or from the goat stalls, and you're like, well, I don't have time to do that right now. You know, I'm trying to do my inside chores. I don't want to go get all messy in the coops and stuff to drag things halfway across the farm. Just a minute. And so I want to set up to have, okay, I want to set up to have the carbon ready for me here. So I'm going to fill up this barrel and I'm going to drag over another barrel, and Sam has a bunch of straw that he's cleaned out of the goat enclosure, and I'm going to bring it all here. I'm going to fill these barrels up, and my goal will be when one gets empty I can bring it back to the barn and sit it by the goat pen, and Sam would know, oh, I got to fill this back up for Laura, and then I can drag it back out here. Straw and stuff is not that heavy. It's very light, so I'm not worried about moving it. It's just about, I need it filled before I actually need the carbon for my pile so that I can dump it on my pile right when I need it without having to do yet another chore to add carbon to my pile, if all that makes sense. And we also are going to triple wrap this compost pile because the dog keeps wiggling her nose in there and making such a mess everywhere with whatever it is that she wants out of my pile. Or sometimes I think she just likes to dig in it, or maybe she's digging stuff into it. I don't know. But anyway, we're gonna keep her out. So we're gonna use some old chicken wire to especially wrap up here at the top where those cattle panels are. And also she seems to have bent down the back. It wasn't tall enough, so we're gonna make it taller on all sides so she can't get in. I'm gonna show them what's in here.
That's straw.
This is straw and hay that's just too old or junky, and the goats won't eat it because they're divas. So this will be perfect. Okay, so now we need to try to find another container. This one's full. Ivy, we're gonna use this extra trash can. This is a take now, ask for forgiveness later. I don't think Daddy's using it, so he's sleeping, so we can't ask. We'll just tell him what we did later. Hopefully it's not a problem. Alright, we're out of straw, so Muscles McGee behind the camera and me are going to go scoop up some extra chicken shavings to fill up this container, and then we will have tons of carbon for our compost pile. It'll be a long time until we run out.
Mom went inside to help the little girls get their stuff on. I don't know if you can see me, but you can. So I decided to go grab the shovel, and then I'll meet them at the chicken coop.
So some of these eggs are cracked because they froze overnight, and then that cracked them with the liquid inside expanding. You can actually use cracked eggs like this if you use them immediately. I know Doug and Stacy, Off Grid with Doug and Stacy, they have kind of a cool channel. I'm sure most of you watch that channel. It's a really big channel. They had a video, gosh, probably a couple years ago, about how she uses these cracked eggs. The important thing, you have to be really careful about dirty eggs. So this egg would probably be a no-go. You can see it's got some dirt or poop on it, one of the two. And then you would also want to make sure that you're using them immediately. So like you checked the eggs before you went to bed at night and it was empty. They laid overnight, they froze. First thing in the morning you checked the eggs and they've frozen and cracked, and you're going to use them that morning for breakfast. That is kind of like the parameters of being able to use them. We didn't check eggs yesterday because Sam has still just been really fatigued. He's over like all the other symptoms really. Just a tiny little cough left, but the fatigue has been out of this world for him. I feel really bad for him because he gets up for an hour and he's like needs to go back to bed. So, but because of that, the minimum amount of farm chores have been being done because like it's already really busy anyway. So we're making sure everybody's fed and watered and taken care of. But like extra things like checking for eggs multiple times a day aren't getting done because I already have enough things on my list. So I don't really know if this is a new just cracked egg or if this is an egg that's been frozen twice, yesterday and last night. So we're just gonna toss all the cracked eggs away. But I'll try to find that video from Doug and Stacy, and if I can find it, if it is titled something along the lines of lines of frozen eggs and I can search for it, I'll link it below because it's very informative, and they have a lot of good content anyway. If you've not watched their channel, especially a lot of their older videos when they were first really getting into homesteading, we're really homesteading on a tight budget, really have some great videos on just how to make do, so highly encourage looking those up. All right, Ivy, how many eggs did you say we got? Oh, why are you on the table? Sit in a chair like a normal person. Sit on a chair. Okay, thank you. Now, how many eggs did you say we got?
14.
Okay, so out of 14, we have 8 that weren't cracked. So that seems about right. So that must have been 2 days worth of eggs. Within had 8 laid the day before, and then 8 sometime in the last 24 hours. So that's not too bad, especially for our little flock. And it being dead of winter, so pretty good. Okay, composting is like the simplest thing that you can do to live a more sustainable lifestyle. And people a lot of times, they'll comment, they'll say something like, oh, I really want to start composting, but I don't know where to begin. It seems so overwhelming. People make it overwhelming, and all the overwhelming things about browns and greens and watering and temperatures and blah 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 blah, that's all just to make it compost faster, so you can get it from this to in your garden faster. But the fact is that any organic material, when you put it outside in the elements, is that it is going to eventually break back down. So if you just want to help prevent stuff from going to a landfill where it's never going to decompose because it's wrapped in a giant plastic bag, put inside an even more gianted plastic diaper type liner thing they put under landfills, you can just toss it outside somewhere and let it break back down. And every plastic bag that you're not putting in your trash bin is one plastic bag that's not going to the landfill. And imagine if every person in America, imagine that they produced one less 13-gallon trash bag a week, okay? That's like 350 million less plastic bags going to the trash landfill every week. And then you multiply that by 52. I don't even know what that number is, but it's got to be close to 1 billion by the end of the year, or several hundred million. So a tiny little change, like having a place where you can put your organic material once you're done eating your meal, so that you're not putting it in the trash can, wrapping it up in plastic where it's never ever going to decompose, and sending it to the landfill where it's never ever going to decompose, or at least not in our lifetime. Like, it makes such a positive difference, and it's such an easy change. And you can get fancy composting bins. You know, if you live in a subdivision where they have rules, you might need a nice bin. You could make, if you're worried about rodents, you can make a bin really easy out of an old trash can. We're out in the middle of the country. Nobody cares what I do on my property, so I have this ugly as sin compost square, and I'll link the video below of how I built it. And this works fine. It's breaking down great. The only problem, like I said, is our dog has figured out how to get into it, so I'm just going to wrap it more securely and then just get back to what I'm doing. When this square is filled up halfway, I will leave it alone for 2 years and start another one for the next 2 years, and then it'll be broken down. We'll just go back and forth. I mean, it'll be great. So all I need to fix this is a whole bunch of chicken wire and a whole bunch of zip ties. This is like super cheap, and except the zip ties were like $1, and then this chicken wire has been repurposed from the garden, so I didn't even buy that. Like, composting doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be expensive. If you want to make it complicated and expensive, go for it, but I don't have time for that, so we're just gonna wrap this up. there she is in all of her glory. I got another bucket I'm gonna dump on there of stuff in the kitchen, and then I'm gonna dump a whole bunch of this straw in there, cover it up real good. It's like a lasagna. Kitchen discard, carbon, shoop, again and again and again and again and again and again, build your lasagna. It's the most basic thing of composting. All right, I'm actually feeling pretty good. I mean, I was really overwhelmed starting today thinking about doing these things, and I was like, man, I just don't, that's a lot. The kids were really good here. They were helped for quite a bit, and then now they're inside playing, which is fine. It's Saturday, so there's no school. They can do whatever, well, they can do stuff that's within the boundaries that have been set forth before them. And I was gonna just do 2 things today, 2 things tomorrow afternoon after church, but I don't know, I might keep going. I'm feeling really good. And I know that I have said this more than once, and I say it all the time on Facebook or Instagram and pictures, but I am so thankful that I found a cardiologist who listened to me when I was telling him I was having problems with my heart, and didn't just tell me that I was a stressed out woman or that I'm pregnant and heart rates are faster when you're pregnant, that there was legitimately something wrong, and then I was able to get it fixed this year, because I cannot express how nice it is to be able to go outside and work on projects and not have it bother me. Be able to bend down and pick something up without it just setting off and going 200 beats per minute, or waking me up in the middle of the night going 200 beats per minute. It is a beautiful, wonderful thing. And I just feel so much better every day without that affecting my daily life. So, I am being summoned from within. Let's see what the kids need. Actually, I bet you that's the baby. He's been taking a nap. Yes. Hey, you need a coat, but you can be outside. It's a nice day. Hey, is the baby crying?
No, he is. No, he's happy.
He's happy? Yes. What do we do when the baby's happy? That's right, nothing. The answer is nothing. We leave the happy baby alone.
Number 3. Clean the bushes.
Okay, daylight is quickly fading. I took a stop, feed the baby, took care of some things, and he's outside. He's watching his sisters bounce on the trampoline. We're gonna see if we can clean up this row here and get to the base of this giant infestation of a plant. I'm almost embarrassed to show this because it got so bad last year, but I was so pregnant, and then I was having the issues with my heart, and it made it just, I couldn't do it. Like, I literally could not take care of it. And so it got so bad that it crawled over to this apple tree and actually pulled it out of the ground. That's how bad it was, which is really sad because now I'm down to 2 apple trees. So we're going to find the root of this monstrosity, wherever it is in this hot mess. And we're gonna get the hatchet and we're gonna hatchet it all the way down. And then I think, I read something like if you drill a hole in what's left and then dump a bunch of salt down there to kill it down to its roots. So maybe that's true, maybe not, but we're gonna try it. I know the sun's kind of in the way, but this is all wild elderberry. And then down far that way there is blackberries, and then at the very end there are some elderberries that I planted myself. So I want to protect all this. I already lost my apple tree, but I can protect all this from that monster that's coming for it. You know when your wife rearranges or cleans the kitchen, you can't find anything? Well, Sam rearranged the shed, cleaned it up. It's actually very nice. You did a good job, but I don't know where. I can't find the hatchet. I can't find the, like, pruner, trimmer, whatever you, giant bush scissor things. Gosh darn it. I really want to do this right now because everybody is happy playing. The baby is excited to watch them for a little bit, and like, I can knock this out so fast if I could find the tool. Gosh darn it. Alright, not the ones I was looking for. These are old. We have a pair of really nice new ones. Somewhere. In there. Couldn't find them. So, we're just trying to make do here.
Go.
Yeah, you guys stay back here.
They're a tough one. Go look.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, get this one.
Go on. Go, Mikey, go. They're giant scissors.
All right,
Oh, the bad guys have come.
Umbrella. Can I hold the umbrella?
yeah, okay.
Nanny, if you go down there,
They don't look that thick, but they are, I guess. No, they do look pretty thick.
All right, I'm gonna have to do some plant identification. I wonder if this is what's called devil's walking stick. And look how big those thorns are on it. But it's definitely a bunch. They're all growing from down there. So I don't really know how to eradicate this. It's on the side of a hill too. It'd be kind of hard to get a shovel in here, just like dig them all out. But I cut all of the vines, so all the existing vines will not come back this year. So at least slow down the spread, if nothing else. So if you have any experience with something like that and can tell me how to eradicate it, because I don't want it to come back and do more damage, and I don't want it to keep spreading down my line, I'm interested. I'm listening. Little man and I are calling it a day. Girls have gone inside already to clean up for dinner. So we're gonna go get dinner started, yeah. And then tomorrow we will tackle the greenhouse. Church has actually been canceled for tomorrow because the COVID and flu numbers are so high in our area that we're just gonna do service online and hope that we can kind of break the cycle of reinfection, which I think is very smart on part of our pastor and board. So we will be chilling in the morning as a family, which will be some nice relaxed time. We'll watch the service online, and then we will get outside and get these greenhouses fixed. And I feel awesome that we have done this, and it's going to be like one less thing to have to worry about while we're in the hospital with Annie. I'll know that the farm is ready for spring and that most of the grunt work has been done and that we're ready to get to planting. Okay, day number 2. It is much colder today than they promised us yesterday, so we're getting all bundled up, but we are going to finish because I am determined. My plan was, so we did church this morning. I got people down for naps. Unfortunately, so far I am only 2 out of 4.
Mommy.
Take a nap day. And little Mr. Man here did not take a nap, and so he's bundled up to join me outside. We'll see if we can get any of this stuff done with the baby carrier on.
4. Wrap the greenhouse.
All right, greenhouse number 2. Well, actually number 1. This is the original greenhouse. Some reason came completely unwrapped in a windstorm, but this one did okay. But this one did not. So we're going to rewrap it. I hope this plastic is still all salvageable. I do have more, but it's a lot easier to rewrap than it is to totally unplastic and replastic, so fingers crossed. I'm going to tell you right now, if you are looking for beautiful homesteading, this is not your channel. This is functional, on a budget, getting it done, homesteading with small children and working multiple jobs homesteading. This is what it looks like when you are doing it in real life. This one is the one that I just patched it up just a little bit. I have to figure out another way to do the doors. You see it's flapping. This one I just ripped off the plastic on the door. I've tried staples, I've tried the staples that you hammer in, I've tried duct tape. I just can't get the plastic to attach to the doors very well. The doors they open and close so much that it just like, it just becomes like a weak spot, I guess, with plastic. And so I might just board the doors up. That might just be the easiest way to take care of it, and that might prevent some wind from pushing through the greenhouse and ripping the plastic off anyway. So the one I fixed today, got all rewrapped. It needs to be reattached to the bottom, and I do that with a hammer and the big thick staples, but I'm not going to do it today only because little man fell asleep and he's comfy in there. And you just can't crawl around on the ground with a baby and a baby carrier. So tomorrow's another sunny, warm day, and I'll get out here tomorrow and I will staple those down and then board up that door. And then I'll just leave them like this until we get back from Annie's surgery and plant them for the spring. I plant root vegetables, I plant lettuces and spinaches. I'm going to try planting some squash and having them start early in there. And so we'll have plenty of food growing for the summer before gardening season even starts. Thanks so much for watching. We'll be back soon. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll catch you next time.